During my time in Seoul, I visited the National Museum of Korea. I had the privilege of attending a special exhibition commemorating the 40th anniversary of the excavation of the Sinan shipwreck. The Sinan ship is believed to have sunk in June 1323 within a couple of months of its departure from Xinhuan, China, headed toward the port of Kokata, Japan. In August 1975, a Celadon base was found off of the southwest coast of the Korean peninsula near Sinan by a Korean fisherman. The Sinan shipwreck's discovery came 652 years after its wreck. Excavation for artifacts continued until 1984, and the exhibit contributed its finding as the beginning of underwater archaeology in Korea. The massive archaeological find has become a Korean treasure. The exhibition was split into 3 sections. The first section focused on cultural artifacts through which visitors could learn about cultural practices and patterns of the time. Of particular interest to me was how the cultural artifacts demonstrated cultural trade and exchanges in between East Asian cultures. Cultural practices which were spread throughout Asia and were reflected in maritime trade goods included the instruments for tea drinking, incense burning, and flower arranging. For example, during the Kamakura period of Japan, 1192 through 1333, Japan did not establish diplomatic ties with China, yet an active cultural exchange continued through maritime trade of cultural goods. Similarly, the Goryeo dynasty from 918 to 1392 was able to take advantage of the cultural exchange provided through this same maritime trade with the Song and Yuan dynasties in China. A second section focused on the cargo aboard the ship. It is amazing that such a wide set of artifacts were recovered and were able to be restored to such pristine conditions even after enduring a shipwreck and being underwater for hundreds of years. The cargo included over 20,000 pieces of ceramics, lacquerware and metalware, 28 tons of coins, 1,000 pieces of rosewood items, and glass spices and herbal medicines. The third section focused on the port of embarkment Xinhuan in present-day Ningbo in Zhejiang province, China, and the actual structure of the vessel. It is of particular importance because it provides insight into the merchant trade of the time, as it is believed to be one of the largest merchant ships of the 14th century in East Asia. These are some pictures of Naksundae Market, which was near my house in Seoul. One of my favorite things about markets in Korea is that they reflect my view of Korea. Korea, to me, is a constant juxtaposition of the traditional with the modern. Gwanghwamun Gwangjang, or Gwanghwamun Square, was opened in 2009 at the center of historic Seoul in front of Gyeongbokgung Palace in Bukaksan Mountain. At this square was erected statues of King Sejong and Admiral Yi Sun-shin with an adjacent exhibition hall memorializing their contributions to Korean history. King Sejong reigned from 1418 to 1450 during the Joseon dynasty. He is remembered as a king who doted on the Korean people and is an indispensable symbol of Korean nationalism. It was through his impetus that Hangul was created, a phonetic alphabet system for Korean, which he developed despite the dissent of royal officials, who discouraged him from breaking off with traditional Chinese characters and thereby causing offense to Imperial China. The phonetic alphabet was created as a system that would allow literacy to spread among the common people. Musical, artistic, and scientific achievements under his reign were conduits through which King Sejong attempted to separate from Chinese cultural influence to create a separate Korean identity. Admiral Yi Sun-shin was an admiral during the Joseon dynasty. He is famous for his victories under impossible odds against the Japanese during the Indian War from 1592 to 1598. Despite having limited naval military training, it was through his command and the improvement of the Korean turtle ships that they were able to fight off the Japanese invasion. The improved turtle ship was armed with cannons that included a wooden deck that could protect the crew from small arms fire and arrows. Spikes on the wooden deck added extra protection from attempts by the Japanese to board the ship. Admiral Yi Sun-shin's section focused on his naval battles and recorded history, as well as Korean naval weaponry. Details of Korean, Japanese, and Chinese main warships of the time are compared to show Korean warship advantages. One of the most popular shopping districts in Seoul is Myeongdong. Not only can you find every store there, from high fashion designers to local souvenir shops, but you can probably find multiple locations for the most popular Korean chains. All of these stores and lighting make for a great Friday night destination, as you can enjoy some of the most unique street food Seoul has to offer.
Unfortunately, my study abroad trip to Korea came to an end, but I can sincerely say that before this trip, I had never enjoyed learning Korean so much, nor had my speaking ability ever reached its current level.